Yeah, it is a new day. You know, what's happened before is gone. We know we've done well enough to get here, but tomorrow is a day that counts, and that's the only day that counts for us at this moment. So all we have to do is make sure we put our heads down and start from square one and build a good winning performance.
Yep. Given there's always a high level of expectation, given the way that you performed against India, do you sense that goes up because you're just one game away from the final?
Well, the expectations are always there. That's not something that we can control. What we really want to do is make sure that when we go out there tomorrow and when we talk about things this evening, that we are realistic, we stay in the moment, and make sure we concentrate on what we have to do and make sure our focus is 100% on tomorrow.
Yes, Sally.
Sangha, as captain of the team, I mean, you should know, I mean, whether the team is really peaked or doing extremely well. So how do you sort of personally feel that, I mean, your team is, are they almost arrived there, or do you think they're still further?
Well, I think in a tournament like this, you sort of keep building. There's never a point where you think, oh, well, we're the best that we can be. That never happens in cricket. And also in big tournaments, it's always a question of gradual and continuous improvement. For us, there are lots of areas we have to make sure we cover. We've done pretty much all we can in the 2 days leading up to tomorrow. And so I think the guys are very focused. They're pretty confident, but at the same time, they understand that it is performance that counts, and that's what we're trying to deliver tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Kumar, you've beaten New Zealand at this stage 4 years ago. You've reached World Cup finals before. The whole nation expects you to win tomorrow. How do you guard against complacency?
Well, there's no room for complacency at all. There's no chance of that happening in anyone's minds because, you understand the gravity of the situation. You understand the challenge that's going to come our way. And you've got to accept it and you've got to enjoy it. And the guys have done that pretty well. And tomorrow is not going to be any different. You can't play, too much to the crowds or too much to, show off. It's a question of playing good, solid cricket. Concentrate on doing the basics right, taking the small steps first. We set ourselves small goals to achieve every single, a few overs at a time. And so the guys, if we keep our heads and we perform as well as we know we can turn in a solid winning performance.
Brian, I think you don't need a mic for a question. You've got a loud voice like mine, so please shoot. Thanks, Brian.
Well, not really. I think Murray's and everyone around him is trying to, get him as fit as possible and fit enough to play. It's no use thinking about finals and saving him for other games. This is the crunch game, and if he can play tomorrow, that'll be great for us. But if that doesn't work out for us, we've got enough cover to make sure that we are still a solid and winning side. At the same time, it's too different. He knocked his knee in Mumbai. And he's just aggravated a quadricep muscle, a very slight strain in the game before. So it's not the same injury. So we'll have to just monitor how he goes and hope that he's fit enough to play for us.
Yes, sir.
Kumar, the England team didn't trouble you a huge amount on Saturday. Did that surprise you? And do you expect a different and greater challenge from New Zealand? Well,
I think the main reason why it seemed a sort of an easier match than everyone expected was the fact that our openers put up a magnificent performance. Those kinds of partnerships don't come around very often, and I think that kind of overshadowed the contest as such. But England's a side that we were very wary of, and we expected nothing less than their best from them. In the light of that, tomorrow it's a new game for us. It's nothing to do with England. It's about starting from square one and making sure that we understand that we accept that by the time we arrive at the ground tomorrow.
Darshan, I think yours can use it out of mic here, please.
ශාරීරික ආබාධය මම හිතන්නේ අපි බොහෝ දුරට හෙට වෙද්දී හොඳට තරවාගෙන ක්‍රීඩා කරන්න පුළුවන් තත්ත්වයකට ගෙන්න ගන්න තමයි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. නමුත් එසේ නොවුනොත් අපිට තවත් ක්‍රීඩකයන් ඉන්නවා අපිට අවශ්‍ය දේ කරලා දෙන්න. ඒ වගේම ක්‍රීඩකයන් හැටියට අපේ මානසිකත්වයේ යෙදවෙන්න ඕනේ. අද දවසේ අපි මොනවද කරන්න ඕනේ? කොහොමද අපි අද දවසේ සූදානම් වෙන්න ඕනේ? හෙට මේ ක්‍රීඩාංගණයට ආවහම කොහොමද අපි තරඟය ගැන හිතලා ඒ මොහොත ගැන හිතලා වැඩි දුර හිතන්නේ නැතුව ඉස්සරහ නෙමෙයි පස්ස ගැන නෙවෙයි ගියපු දේවල් ගැන නෙවෙයි අද දවසේ හෙට දවසේ මොකක්ද අපි කරන්න කියන එක.
Kumar, you mentioned after the last match that you need to brush up on the basics, particularly the fielding. Bearing that in mind, would you have preferred a longer break than just 2 days going into the semi-final?
Well, it's hard to say. We've had lots of breaks in the group stages and very few breaks at this time. Maybe that's for the sake of momentum and hoping that the sides, would like to play quicker games. But yeah, I think all the cricketers would like a big break, especially from matches in the heat. But that's not, again, something we can't control. Ours is a job that we know. The schedule was set long before, and we're happy that we got here. But ours is to go that one step further and win tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yours, please.
Mark, 2 questions. Would you still go with 3 spinners, considering the fact that they did very well against England? 1 and 2, that toss would it really matter because you won very comprehensively chasing?
Well, it's hard to say about the toss. I think these wickets now have evened out really well, and I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. But at the same time, I think playing 3 spinners, it's another question we have to ask ourselves today. Sangakkara has done exceptionally well against New Zealand every single time he's gone out there. And he's a strong contender to play as well. So everyone's in the mix. We'll have to make a decision based on how we feel today in the evening and what we think is best to play New Zealand with as a combination.
Upendra?
කුමා මම හිතන්නේ මේ තරඟාවලියේදී වේග පන්දුවන්නන්ගේ කාර්යභාරය මේ වෙනකොට ක්‍රමක්‍රමයෙන් අඩු වෙගෙන යනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ වැදගත්කම විශේෂයෙන්ම දඟ පන්දුවන්නන්ගේ වැදගත්කම ඉස්මතු වෙනවා. මේ තත්ත්වයට හිත කණ්ඩායමේ සංයුතිය වුණා වගේ වෙයි කියලා දුවා හිතන්නේ.
මම හිතන්නේ වේග පන්දුවන්ගේ කාර්යය තවත් මම හිතන්නේ එන්න වැදගත් වෙනවා. ඔවුන් හුඟක් පන්දුවාර යවෙ නැති වුණාට මම හිතන්නේ ඔවුන්ගේ යමන පන්දුවාර ඉතාමත් හොඳ ඒවා වෙන්න ඕනේ. ඉතින් ඔවුන්ගේ වගකීම කාර්යභාරය එලෙසටම තියෙනවා. නමුත් දඟ පන්දුවන්නන්ගේ සුදුසුකම මම හිතන්නේ සමහරලාට වැඩි නිස්මතු වෙලා පේනවා මේ අවස්ථාවවලදී. මොකද තරඟ හුඟක් ක්‍රීඩා කරපු තනතිරවල තමයි ක්‍රීඩා කරන්නේ. නමුත් නුවන් කුල